if what you're trying to get away from, and I think Bill referenced this too, teacher stands up at the front of the room and the students sit there and it's kind of at the worst of it, it's a pretty passive model. But if you're trying to get away from the presentation model of this, how is it really different than having a teacher do it that way or having a screen in front of you where in some ways you're still being presented the information?
But one of the things I've started doing with my 9th grade in physical science class is we have station labs where we have 7 different stations they've got to get through in this time period. And the old me would have stood at the front of the room and explained what they're going to do at all these 7 stations, and then 14 and 15-year-olds are going to remember instructions that long? No. And so then they'd get to the stations and they wouldn't know what to do. So what I did this year is I took those stations and I videotaped. I had my 9-year-old daughter with an iPad videotape me doing each station.
The word tape being an older reference.
No, video, okay. Video. You're right. So I had her take a QuickTime movie of me doing each station, and then I did some editing. So I ended up with 3 2-minute movies where my students, I borrowed some iPads from our media center on the day we did this lab. I had it all set up, and my students came in and I said, well, you've got these 7 stations to do, and when you get to this station, please play the video. Pause it when I tell you to pause it, try it out. And it was a little surreal because I heard myself all over the room. But I was able to then go and interact with the students that needed it. So it wasn't me sage on the stage, it was me interacting with my students. And that was just a really quick way to flip, just a mini version for my 9th graders. And the technology was there in my room to do it. And it gave me 30 minutes of content time that I could use for something else later, and a more successful lab experience.
You cloned yourself.
It was nice.
It's brilliant.
It was.
How does that sound? Is
Well, it
that how
sounded
you
like it
imagine this?
It's not how I imagined it, but that's even better if it's organic, if people experimenting with it have better ways to use it.